The International Energy Conference and Expo is expected to be held at the Arthur Chung Conference Centre at Liliendaal, Georgetown from February 15 to 18, 2022. During the conference's official media launch on Tuesday, it was highlighted that some leaders of countries in the Caribbean community, Caricom, alongside other high-level participants and businesses, are expected to gather in Guyana to discuss the opportunities for business and policy priorities. These leaders could not yet be named, but the newsroom understands that a delegation from Suriname is expected. Meanwhile, the conference's public relations advisor, Alex Graham, says that there are key expected outcomes from this conference. These include identifying business and investment opportunities, establishing a trade show that will run alongside the conference, discussing local content and capacity building, and emphasizing safety within the industry. Importantly, Graham said what distinguishes the conference is the concerted effort placed on including policymakers such as heads of government and other government officials and the business players in the discussion. And this is particularly important since the conversation on energy includes non-renewable energy such as oil and natural gas and renewable energy such as solar energy and hydropower.
While we understand that there's a big excitement, obviously and naturally and expectedly, around oil and gas development, we recognize that for us in Guyana and Suriname especially, we're getting to oil and gas late. Some experts might say too late because the pressure is on for renewables. But I think we understand that, and that's why we want to ensure that our conversations cover the entire range of energy issues. The expectations of a people for oil and gas, but the absolute demand globally for a transformation of all energy production, and we are no different.
Graham emphasized that the focus on including policymakers is due to cognizance that they are the ones who will be under international pressure to make energy changes by 2050. What Graham was referencing is the United Nations Paris Agreement, which is an international agreement on climate change mitigation. The goal of this agreement is to limit global warming below 2 degrees Celsius, preferably to 1.5 degrees. Global warming is caused by the release of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, and this contributes to climate change. Natural disasters such as the flooding experienced by Guyana are associated with climate change. Now, Guyana has consented to the Paris Agreement, and it is also working towards maintaining its net zero carbon dioxide emissions status alongside its oil and gas pursuits. That is, the country is already removing more carbon dioxide from the atmosphere than it is producing and releasing. As part of the impetus under the Paris Agreement, many countries are working towards achieving net zero emissions by 2050.
We have industry leaders who would like to exploit all of the resources that are customary exploiting right now, and that obviously presents a tension that we in the region have to find a pathway through. And one of the things we're expecting to do in this conference is to start the conversation to establishing that clear pathway that strikes the right balance between taking advantage, as long as we could, of the energy resources that we have, as well as preparing ourselves for what the real energy future of the next generation is going to be.
Similar discussions are expected at the UN Climate Change Conference, COP26, that will be slated for November 2021 in Glasgow, Scotland. Guyana will be attending this conference, and it is expected that the country will talk up its greener, sustainable agenda while pursuing its oil and gas development. Reporting for the newsroom, I am Vushani Ragabir.